Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the freedailycoaching.com call. Super fun day planned this morning. I know yesterday, I don't know why I'm just a creature of habit. And yesterday I got all excited and I was like, everyone, Friday Fiesta, right? Usually if you're here today and you're like, hey, where's the free-for-all? Where's the Friday Fiesta? I want to come out and play. I understand where you're coming from. I know what that's like when you get frustrated because you showed up for one thing and something else happens. But that being said, we planned this. If you're a regular, you've been waiting for this. There's a lot of people I know are really excited about this morning. People are already saying that Christina's going into beast mode on Facebook already, right? She's going crazy with it. So I want to let you know there'll be more opportunities for us to do some more free-for-alls, okay? You're going to be able to participate and come out and hang out. But what I want you to do this morning is really go make sure you got your coffee, go get it right now while I'm talking. Get your notepad out, okay? Get your pencil, get your pen, whatever you use to take some notes, and get ready. Now, this is going to get recorded on it should go onto Christina's YouTube channel, okay? So I will go later and I'll have Christina send me the link, and then I'll go and download it, guys, for you as well, and republish it. But this will be getting recorded to Christina's YouTube channel today. So if you want to go and see the recording, then go back and do that, okay? What we're going to do this morning is Christina Ervin, as many of you guys are aware, is using Google Plus for the social network that it is, and so she's really tapped into that and really, been utilizing that as a resource where most people like myself are using Facebook. And so what she's going to do this morning is she's going to show you what she's doing. Okay, she's going to give you guys an opportunity to hook up with her. She's got something going on that she wants to share with you. Okay. And so she's going to give you that opportunity to connect with her today, guys. Like always, I highly encourage you to go and connect with the people that we bring on as guests that are doing the training. Go and see what kind of resources that Christina is going to have available for you guys. And then always go give her a shout out. Go give her some Google Plus love today, right? Go over to Google Plus and start plus oneing or whatever. She'll tell you what to do, I hope. I am going to let Christina, guys, I'm going to let Christina take over this morning. I'm going to shut my camera off and mute out. I'm actually going to be on the road this morning. I know you guys, last time I was driving and on a hangout, everyone freaked out. So I stayed safe this morning. The only question, and I'm going to go back and watch the recording too when I'm downloading, Christina. So I'm just going to hit you with my question that's preemptive so you know what it is. And I'm sure you're probably going to already go over this. Because you talked about how it's so much more social for you on Google Plus than it is on Facebook. So I just want to know how it is that you're interacting like in real time with the people. If you can show me how I could start to do that on Google Plus, then I'm down to try it out. So when you get to that part, that's because I would definitely have raised my hand and asked that question. So, guys, let me tell you a little bit, just real quick. I actually got to meet Christina. I know I just assumed that everyone here knows you. So let me tell you, if you don't know Christina, I actually got to meet Christina online, right? We met online. We use a similar marketing or the same marketing platform. We run with similar people, right? We hang out with similar people. We train in similar areas, and we had the opportunity to somehow cross paths. And when we did, we're like, hey, what do you do? Hey, what do you do? And then we hit it off, right? We got to chat a couple times, and since then we've developed this relationship to where just like the rest of you guys that have come out onto some of these webinars and done some teaching, Christina has done that before, and then she's just taken it to the next level, and people are like, hey, we want some more Christina, right? We need some more training. We need her to come out and share some more stuff. So if you guys haven't connected with her, get with Christina. She does some amazing marketing, and the reason, literally, guys, just so I want to be totally transparent. I literally asked Christina to do the training while we were on a webinar, specifically so that she would say yes, right? So she was kind of like, okay, I guess I got to do it, dude. And I did it for selfish reasons. I did it for you guys, of course, because that, it's here on the free daily coaching, but I did it because I wanted to learn it too, because it's such a valuable resource to learn how to use these other platforms. So without any more blathering from me, good morning and welcome, Christina. So excited for you to do this.
Thank you, Bert. I really appreciate it. Great intro. Do I have a little? I think I have a little echo here, do I? But it's really great to be here. I appreciate it. Those of you who plug into Bert's free daily coaching, you know how awesome it is that he's always open to sharing his platform and giving everybody the opportunity to do training and everything. And so, Bert, I really appreciate you for all that you've done and all your mentorship for me and everybody else in the community as well. So I really appreciate it. So what's up, everybody? Y'all ready to get your plus on this morning? Y'all ready to learn about a little G plus? Give me a little love. Show me a little bit of action over there in the chat. What's up, Rhonda? Hey, Bob. Who's over? We got some regulars over there. Karen, I see you. Debbie Deerdorf. What's up, girl? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick little PowerPoint presentation, right? And some of you may have seen some of it before. I'm going to kind of go through it really quickly because, this is getting recorded. You can always, reach out to me and get some more nuggets. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you to stay on to the end because I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to give you an opportunity to join my special Google Plus email club. Send out nuggets on that all the time. As a matter of fact, I'm actually getting ready to start releasing a little mini training series, so I encourage you to go ahead and get on that before the end of the day so that you don't miss any tips that I'm going to be sending out. What's up, Lynn? Hey, Craig. John Wayne. I got John Wayne up in my webinar, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to kind of quickly move through the PowerPoint presentation. And then I'm going to share my screen on Google Plus and show you some possibilities because I'm not going to have enough time to go through a lot of deep dive information. That's why I encourage you to get on my list. But I'm going to show you some possibilities, okay, of what you can do with Google Plus and how you can get some crazy targeted leads, okay? So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And guys, let me know over in the chat. Can you see my my desktop? Hey, Bert, are you still there? Can you see me? Or Bert's probably gone too. So you guys should be able to see my PowerPoint right now. Can you see that? Anybody over in the chat? Okay, well, I'm going to roll with it and assume that you can. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who may not know me, let me just give you a quick background on me. Again, my name is Christina Ervin, and I actually live in Northeast Tennessee. I actually got to Northeast Tennessee, by the way, I actually in college played Division I basketball at East Tennessee State University. That's me right there. I'm getting ready to crash the board for a rebound. And that's how I got to Northeast Tennessee. I sort of, after graduating undergrad, I kind of stayed around in the area, ended up getting a job, got some promotions and just kind of stayed around. For the last 12 years, I've actually been working in corporate America in internal control of compliance in the private label credit card division of one of the largest banks in the world. And that's what I do. I kind of make sure that we don't go against any bank regulations and we have some strong internal controls. So there's no loss in the business or anything like that. And so that's just a little bit about me. About a year ago, I made a decision that it's time for me to work on my own terms. I'm tired of, people telling me what my worth is, determining what my worth is, struggling, killing myself trying to get promotions when there's only so far you'll ever be able to go in corporate America. And I wanted to just kind of determine my own path. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and give into this reoccurring entrepreneurial spirit that I have, and start building my own business. So that's what I've been doing. So let me go over some Google Plus basics for you. Just a second. So on these basics, here's some things. When people come over to Google Plus, they get all discombobulated and intimidated by all the bells and whistles that go on with Google Plus, right? So they come over to Google Plus, they get intimidated, and they're like, oh no, forget this, it's too much going on. I'm going over to something that's more familiar. So let me give you let me just set you at ease and let you know that you already know everything that goes on in Google Plus. I mean, for instance, you know what the whole thumbs up like is for on Facebook, right? You know what the follow for follow is over on Twitter. You got the hashtags on Instagram. You know all of these things. These things are familiar to you. So that's nothing new to you. The same thing happens over in Google Plus. Some more familiar functions. You might be familiar with, groups over on Facebook. Creating your own little group. You have the same kind of functionality over in Google Plus. Okay, you can comment, like, and share on Google Plus. You can you want to attract followers and friends on Google Plus. You tag keywords using hashtags on Google Plus. You can do private chats and hangouts in Google Plus. You can target groups for certain interests, just like you do over on Facebook and other social media. So let's just get into some Google Plus 101, okay? First of all, posting and making a comment on Google Plus. When you're going to make a comment on Google Plus, you're going to be putting everything into your comment box. This is just a screenshot of a comment box, right? You're going to type your comments here. You can have attachments, photo attachments. You can put your links directly into this box. You can actually link to your YouTube videos, or you can link to an event. And then you go down here to the to area to select, the names or the emails or your circles that you want to send your post to. Again, just like any other social media. Linking and sharing on Google Plus. Listen, guys, you're going to be using things like hashtags on Google Plus to sort of help you, organize comments in a string, so that when people do searches, they're going to be searching for hashtags just like they do on other social media. The G Plus version of a like is the +1, for those of you who are not familiar. And then there's, you can use automation to help you with your posts by using things like Do Share, which is a Google Chrome plugin that you can use to help automate and schedule your posts. There's some pros and cons to using Do Share and different tools. And like I said, I encourage you to get on my special email club. So I'll be sending out some information on tools that you can use in Google Plus, and it'll go more into Do Share and the pros and cons of that. When you want to share a post, again, just like you do with other social media, you just click that little arrow there. You can do the same functionality in Google Plus. So you see, you have the similar functionalities. You already know how to use Google Plus. Just looks a little different. So what is a Google Plus circle? This is huge, guys. The power of the circle, the psychology behind the circle is huge. Okay? The circle is Google's version of a friend or follow. You can have a maximum of 5,000 people on your profile in your circles. Okay, but don't worry. You know, if you're a baller and you have more than 5,000 people that you want to be in contact with, you certainly can also have what's called a page, which is kind of like the equivalent of Facebook fan page, if you will. So no worries on that. Now, be mindful of who you circle. That's very important. You don't want to be circling just any and every one. I'll give you some more details on why here shortly. But be mindful of who you circle, because it's all about your engagement, and it's all about having influencers and engagers in your circles. You can add someone to multiple circles. So I can have a circle for, really close friends, and then I can also have a circle for, business people, and maybe I can have somebody named Bob who I have in both circles. I can show you that in here shortly as well. Gold mine in circle management, guys. Circle management is the key, and I've done a training on circle management and controlling your newsfeed flow. That again, once you get on in my email club, you can get that training and really bust it out and really just crush it with your circles. There's also private chat and groups in Google Plus. The private chats in Google Plus is done in Google Hangouts. Now, those can be just text hangouts, or you can do video chats, or you can do audio chats. You can actually make phone calls directly through the chat, and it's really very similar to Skype. So again, you have familiarity already with other functionality, other platforms. It works just like Skype, although there's an element to it, a layer to it, that goes a little bit bigger, because I'm sure many of you have heard of Hangouts on Air, where you can actually broadcast live video webinars to the whole public. It gets broadcast on your Google Plus page, and it also gets broadcast on your YouTube feed. So really, it kind of goes bigger, than other platforms. The equivalent of a group in Google Plus is called communities. And so we have those as well. And communities give you an opportunity to get really targeted with certain interests, whether it be, you like collecting comic books, you like marketing, you like doing DIY. I mean, I've found some crazy communities out there. So you have that opportunity to do the deep dive in targeted groups as well. So let's talk about exploring on Google Plus a little bit. So in Google Plus, other platforms, you have search functionalities. In Google Plus, you do as well. From the home screen, you can explore the hashtags, and that'll give you a good idea of what all is out there on Google Plus. Okay, you have things like trending that you can tap into, where it'll show you what's trending up, what's trending down, what's staying the same. You can do those very same things in other platforms. They're also in Google Plus. So again, that familiarity is there. My goal here is to let you see that all the functionalities that you leverage on other platforms, you absolutely can still leverage on Google Plus as well. So important things to remember about Google Plus. It's all about the community on Google Plus, okay, guys? Community, Hangout, hat tips. You got to keep those in mind. That's another training that I have available. You'll want to get plugged into. But it's all about the community in Google Plus. And Bert has made mention before that he gets on the Googler and everybody's all talking different and everything. It is a bit more of, in my opinion, it's the most interactive community, and the community is very much into preserving the community as well. So that's why they're big on doing things like hat tips and things like that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few moments. The community will, like I said, it'll self-police. So if you're not giving value, the community will let you know about it. Don't be a spammer. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't spammers on Google Plus, because certainly there are. And when you go into communities, some communities, just like other platforms, are just spam fest. But I have personally found that the communities in Google Plus actually do more policing. The moderators of the communities seem to be more active in making sure it's clean. I've actually seen where if you are somebody that comes into the community and you don't introduce yourself and you think you're going to get the posting, I've seen posts removed with a quickness. I've seen people get removed out of groups because they're just spamming, and the group was very clear, we're not a spam fest. So the community does very good at self-policing, which is another reason that I like Google+. You want to be an engager and an influencer. Now, this is a different concept, guys, because like on other platforms, for example, Facebook, and I'm not the foremost Facebook guru. I mean, Bert's killing it, and I'm loving plugging in the Bert with the Facebook here. But, with Facebook, it seems like you have to be more active in sort of reaching out to people, right? And obviously it's very much affected by the algorithm, whether your posts are even shared with most of the people on your list, that kind of thing. Well, there's algorithms and everything in Google Plus, don't get me wrong, but the key to Google Plus is really understanding the importance of getting engagers and influencers in your circle. Now, certainly there are engagers and influencers that are germane to their, big Google Plus gurus. And yeah, if you can get them in your circles, absolutely you want them in your circles, because they're going to be, you want to be plugged into the great information they're sharing. But you also want people who are big engagers and influencers within your certain niche. So, or niche, whatever you want to say. So if you're somebody that's in, for example, health and wellness, certainly you want to have people who are influencers and engagers in the health and wellness in your circles, because as you're sharing your content, people who are engagers are also going to be +1 in commenting and resharing your content. So that expands the reach of your content. You don't want a bunch. That's why you want to be careful on who you put in your circles. You get a bunch of people who are not engagers in your circle, your content is just it's as much, it's like falling upon deaf ears, so to speak, if you're talking. It's not getting shared. People are not seeing it as much. It's not getting maximized. And I'll show you some benefits of having engagers in just a moment. You want to give credit where credit is due. Now, on other social media platforms, I don't see this as something that is as prevalent or as looked down upon if you don't. But I'm going to tell you, in Google Plus, people will check you if you're sharing content and you don't give a hat tip. And I'll get a little bit more into that in a moment too. But if you're sharing content or you're curating content and you don't say, like if I'm sharing something from my buddy Clive Jeffrey's wall, and I don't say, hey, great information, Clive Jeffrey, and I don't plus mention him, that's frowned upon in Google Plus, more so than I've noticed on other social media platforms. But the great thing about that is also going to get you noticed, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a moment as well. So why in general should you be on Google Plus? Why should you leverage this social media platform? I think Google Plus is unique for so many reasons. It's first of all owned by Google. I mean, that's the #1 search platform. So Google is like everything. You got Google Docs, Google Wallet, you got Google everything. So you certainly want to leverage a platform that has such a presence. YouTube can auto-post uploads to your page. So YouTube being like the second largest search platform, I mean, if somebody says, wants to know something, they either Google it or YouTube it. So having that presence of both of those powerhouses is huge. Again, for me, I have found it to be much more engaging than other platforms. It's, for me, has been, I get more back and forth with people on Google Plus. Communities tend to police against spammers, like I've already mentioned. You have in-text formatting, which helps you be able to stand out in the news feeds with your post, and I'll show you a little bit of that in a moment when I go to share my Google Plus page as well. Postings. Your postings are indexed in Google. So when you go to do a Google search, I'll show you how your Google Plus postings can actually show up on first page of Google when you're doing Google searches. So that's huge too. Hangouts and Hangouts on Air. You know, the Hangouts, when you're doing training with a small group of people, maybe your team or something, you can have like 10 people up doing a video call. So if you don't want the expense, the monthly expense of having something like webinars on air, but you want the engagement that you get when you do a webinars on air, kind of like we're doing right now, where you can see me, I can see you, or you can see me and you can get that engagement. You know, there's other, you know, platforms like, you know, Citrix or GoToMeeting or something that you can do webinars, but you don't get that intimacy that you would get like with webinars on air. So with leveraging Hangouts and Hangouts on Air, you get that intimacy, and it's free. So you don't have that monthly expense if you don't quite have it in your budget yet. You have memes. You can make memes right there in Google Plus. You don't have to have a meme generator that oftentimes if you have a free meme generator, then it has a watermark on the bottom of it. You can create a meme right there in Google Plus. You can create GIF files right there in Google Plus. There's a functionality in Google Plus called Auto Awesome that kind of takes all of, you know, it'll take a bunch of pictures that are in your album and puts them together and makes a GIF file for you. It's awesome. So those are just some of the reasons why Google is a unique platform that I think you should be leveraging. So 3 secrets to get more followers. Instantly plus your following in Google Plus when you do things like leveraging circles when you post. You want to be, when you put out some content, you want to put out content to all of your circles, or at least the circles that are, you know, that it's relevant to. And then you can also share it to the public as well. You can actually share it to, I'll show you in a moment, you can share something to your circles and your extended circles. So that means you're sharing it to your circle, and when you share it to your extended circle, that's somebody who's not necessarily in your direct circles, but there's somebody that's in a circle of somebody that's in your circle, if that makes any sense. So that helps you with your reach. Engaging in influencers. I like to call it magnetic shares, guys. It's something that I don't know. I've never heard anybody else say it, so I'm going to say I coined the term of getting more engagement by magnetic shares, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that when I go over to Google Plus and share a little bit about that. But when you are sharing, curating content on Google Plus and you share it, you want to do a hat tip, you know, and you want to add more information to that post, and then you want to do a call to action. The reason that you want to add more information is you want to add something that makes it a little bit more engaging, and then you want to do a call to action for somebody to +1 like or reshare your information. Okay, that's going to help you pick up followers and engagers. Trust me. You want to optimize your about section. Again, you want to get on my list because I'm going to go ahead and let you know that I'm going to send out some really good information on optimizing your about section. So these things help you increase your following, because when you go over to somebody's page and you take a look at them, and I'll show you in a minute, and they don't have any information in their about section, for those of us who are on there for business and marketing, it makes you less likely to want to engage with someone. So if you're someone that has a Google Plus profile right now and you don't have your information filled out, you're not letting people know that you're in business, you're missing out on opportunities. People are likely not including you in their circles because of that. All right, so that's just really quick. So just a really quick hit right there on just some Google Plus basics. So give me some feedback over in the chat, guys. Let me know. Are you feeling it? What are you thinking about those basics? Are you starting to change your mind a little bit about the importance of being on Google Plus? Just let me know over in chat. Give me a little feedback on that. I know for one, I'm somebody who definitely thinks that, you know, Google Plus, it's a social layer to Google itself. Okay, and I'm going to show you in a minute why it's so important. And by a social layer, I mean it takes everything Google and it adds the social community around it, and it incorporates everything over it. So I'm going to bring over just a moment. You like that, Brian? Hey, Shonda, how you doing, girl? I didn't know you snuck in. You see? Okay, I'm starting to get a little feedback on that. Good, Karen, thank you. And guys, what I'm going to do is go ahead and enable the Q&A. So if you have any questions, certainly go ahead and pop them in the Q&A there. And bear with me just a moment. And I'm doing one of those trying to talk and navigate at the same time. Okay. And so let me go ahead and I'm going to go over and share my screen really quickly. And guys, I realize it's a little after 11. If you want to hop over onto the MLSP call for those of us who are MLSP, or if you need to go, I certainly understand. Those of you who don't mind staying a few more moments, I'm going to show you a couple of things that are really good to keep in mind, and some possibilities that you have with Google+. So I certainly encourage you to stay if you can, okay? Hey, Felicia.
Hey, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Great stuff there, by the way. I look forward to seeing how you use the extended circles. I didn't know about that feature.
Sweet. So I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and, since Bert had some really specific questions, I'm going to sort of go to that first. I will tell you guys, I'm still doing some testing on that. I don't find that this time of day is the best time to get that real-time engagement with a lot of people on Google+. Seems that that's the time that everybody else is kind of busy getting their content out and everything, or maybe they're at work or whatever. But I'm going to show you some ways that I get some real-time feedback with people on Google+. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen.
Christina, I'm going to monitor the chat for you. And hey, guys, if y'all want to post a specific question over in the chat, I will feed that over to Christina in real time. So that's why I'm over here, not to add any Google+ value, because if any of y'all know, she is the goddess of Google+.
Thanks, Lily. I appreciate you helping me out on that. So you can see my screen right now?
Yes, we got it. Hey, I have one specific question. You want it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, when you are sharing in communities, I've noticed that I go back to my wall, and all of a sudden the thing that I shared is like all over my wall. As every single time I shared it, it shows up. That's
the one thing that I was getting ready to show you right now too. So that's a good question. So guys, go over into your settings. When you're sharing things in your walls, you don't want to look like a spammer, right? But if you're sharing the exact same thing on Google+, and it shows up in it'll show up every community that you post that in, and it looks like you're a spammer. So go over here to this drop down and go down to settings. And you can see my page, right, Felicia?
Yes, I've got it.
Okay. And then you're going to scroll down to, and then you're going to scroll down to profile. And this very first checkbox that says show your Google+ community post on the post tab of your Google+ profile, you just want to uncheck that.
Oh, that'll make it look much better.
It makes it look much better. Now, another thing that you want to do when you're sharing posts in different communities is you want to give it a little bit of time. So maybe you want to share something now, maybe give it another 15 minutes or so before you share another community. And I can't think of the exact post right now, but another thing that I tend to do, because Google, they have this way of knowing whether or not you've shared the exact same thing, and they'll automatically go ahead and delete the post. Some of the community moderators, they will check your page, your main page. If they see that you're posting the same thing in several communities, they'll go ahead and delete your post out of the community as well. So something that I do is when I share something on my main page, I'll wait 15, 20 minutes, maybe an hour. I'll go to a community. I'll share it to the community. I'll change up the copy a little bit. Maybe I'll change up the picture that I attach with it. Maybe I won't put the link directly into the link. So like if I'm sharing something here and I'll put the link directly here, maybe I won't put it directly there. I won't do what's called a do share link. I'll put it in my comments. But I'll try to mix it up a little bit so that it's not the exact same information. Okay, Felicia? Now, while I'm here, let me go ahead and share. This is where you're gonna, make a posting on your page. So you type your comment here, and you can select whether you want to a specific circle that you want to send it to, or maybe an email address you can put in there. But you'll notice that it automatically defaults to the last place, the last way that you've been sharing. And typically, when I share content, I select public, extended circles, and my circles, because I want to get as much reach as I can, okay? Another thing that is great that you want to keep in mind when you're posting on Google Plus, you want your post to stand out. So let me show you. Here's my post. Here's my page right here. So as I scroll down to my screen, my stream here, you'll see my posts kind of stand out because I've got pictures and everything on there, and you'll notice that I have these bold headers. You want to have headers on your posts, guys. This helps you stand out in your newsfeed. You want to use italics and stuff like that in your newsfeed. So you can see I've got italics in here. I've got a header on there that is bolded. You can strike through things. So let me show you how to do in-text formatting. So when I'm going to make a post, say I'm going to post that I'm on the free daily coaching today, if you put an asterisk before and then say I'm on free daily coaching, and then put an asterisk after, anything that's in between those asterisks will be bolded, okay? And say you want to put something in italics, then you're going to put an underscore, type your words, and then follow it with an underscore. So anything between the underscore will be italicized. If you want to strike through something, then you're just going to put a dash before it, and then a dash after it. And now I'm going to just take that off, and I'll post that. And as you can see, you've got a header, it's italicized, and it's stricken through. Make sense?
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now you want to use that, guys. Make sure that when you're posting, have a header on there. That's going to help you visually stand out in your newsfeed. And you want to have something that's going to draw attention to that post. So the same psychology that you use to post when you're doing copy for like capture pages or something, utilize that similar psychology to create your headings for your posts, okay? You'll notice that Google automatically assigns hashtags, and they'll be in this blue color, right? If you have it set on your settings, Google will automatically assign hashtags for keywords. I go ahead and choose my keywords because I'm doing some hashtag testing right now, and that's in some information that I'll be releasing to my email club. But as you can see, when you assign hashtags, then they're gray, right? Now you want to be using hashtags, guys, because it comes into play when it comes into searches when people are doing, keyword searches and stuff. That's going to help you mine for targeted leads.
On the hashtags, Christina, when you assign them, does that just mean that you've typed them in, or are you having to go someplace special to assign them?
No, you've typed them in. When you've typed in your comments, you've done hashtagging just like you do on any other platform. Good question. So let me show you something about these hashtags real quick, guys. So say I want to find out, more about, I want to see if there's any more postings on mindset. I just click it. It flips the hover card over, and now everyone in my feed, in my circles that have used the hashtag of mindset are going to be right here on this posting, and all I have to do is click these little arrows to the left and the right to flip through and find. Now, when I get to the end of that, it's going to give me another list of similar hashtags that I might want to look into, and I can click into those. And again, I'm going to get those people. Now, that's the same as if I went to the home screen and did an explore. And again, I'm not going to dive too much into this, guys, because I'm going to be releasing this in some mini trainings that are coming up. So get on my list. But you can also click right here and get a whole stream of motivation postings. And it'll even give you even more similar keywords. Now, guys, you don't have to know a lot about Google Plus to just right now see, whoa, I can do some serious targeting with these hashtags, right? Y'all can see that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to show you really quickly, and then I'm going to get to Bert's question. What I mean by Google Plus is a social layer to Google. So I just, for the sake of time, went to google.com, right? Now I happen to use Google Chrome, y'all, and I typed in the word mindset check, because when I post out my mindset information, I use the hashtag mindset check, right? So when I typed in mindset check, look, this is my Google Plus post right here, and I'm on the first page. Now let me get a little bit more, and I don't want to go too deep into this and confuse you, but understand, by social layer of Google, I went to google.com and searched in and did a search for mindset check. My Google Plus post came up on the first page. Now, that's because I'm signed into Google Plus, right? Or I'm signed into Google. So anything that I post on Google Plus is also going to show up in the newsfeed. But guess what? Most people don't sign out of their Google. So if you have people engaged in your circles, they're also going to come in your flow too. So there's an opportunity. For example, right here, fear is like change, face it head on. So I thought, this person, bestseller, is actually in my circles. So I clicked on it just to get an idea of what it was, right? Now, I can see that Beth, she's in my circles, but what she did was actually shared my original post, and then she added something to it. Now, guys, this is something that I would say is on the lines of a magnetic share, in that she added some more information. Now, it would have been better had she put a call to action and said maybe, do you agree, +1, and share if you agree, or something like that. But what this does for me, guys, is I now understand somebody else is sharing my information. Now, I have actually gotten leads from this, because when I searched, I noticed that somebody had came up in my search. I clicked on them, and I realized they had actually shared my information, but they weren't part of my circle. But they were part of someone who was in my circle. So that brought them into my world, and now I can control them. Now I can feed them information. I can say, that person, they're digging on my content. So let me go in there and maybe circle that person and engage that person. Does that make sense, Felicia?
It does, yeah. It starts to get a little confusing. On the circles, though, I know you talked about this just a moment ago. When you go to do a post, I think a lot of people are familiar with Facebook. You just make a post and it goes out. But I saw on your post you have it set up for public circles and extended circles. So does that mean that if you do not choose circles and extended circles, if you just stick with the standard of public, it does not automatically share it with the people that are in your circles?
It's going to share it, but the reason why you want to include your circles is because they're going to get a notification. See, they're going to get a notification that likely is going to be, that will show in their email. Let me show you real quick, and that's a little bit deeper than I was going to get, but it's kind of an important point. So
yeah, as an etiquette thing, do you tend to do that for all of them, or is that something that can get overwhelming?
No, I'm not going to do it for all of them, guys. I'm only going to do it for content like that I want to get as much reach as possible, which I don't use my profile to do too much personal stuff. So a lot of I would say 90-95% of my posts do go out to all of them. But that's because I'm feeding content on my profile. But you're going to have a balance, right? So anything that comes through that goes out to circles or whatever is going to be on your social tab, right? So, like this, Martin Shervington shared this post earlier today. I can literally comment, post, share everything right here from my email if I want to. So this speaks to your ability to be able to quickly find information and quickly respond to information, which helps your efficiency. There's, again, so many reasons why I like Google. Let me show you one more thing. When it comes to Google searches, again, I searched for mindset. I came up on this page. You can also see where I can quickly see there's somebody sharing my information. Let me engage with them. Now, let me show you how it bridges across platforms. So this person right here, I thought, I got a Twitter search over here. They use the same hashtag mindset check that I did. So I clicked on it. Now this brings me over to Twitter, guys. Now here's a person over on Twitter. I look at her profile. She's an MBA. I'm an MBA. She's a learning coach. She does inbound marketing certification. She's a reputation maven. Like me and this chick right here, we're all on the same page. She's in the mindset. Guys, I'm on Twitter. Do you think that I'm now not following her? That's crazy. I'm following her, right? You see how that bridges the different portfolio or platforms?
Totally.
Let me show you one from Facebook. So here's one. This guy's using the same hashtag. And I go and I check on him. I see that he's a business owner. He does a little mindset. I like that he plugs in the Jim Rohn and stuff. Of course, yes, I'm going to start following him, right? So again, this is it's huge, guys. It's just huge. I did a hashtag prospect search, and again, I'm showing up on that first page. I found this person who is a big engager just because I did this hashtag check. Okay? Any questions in the chat, Felicia, on that before I move on real quick?
No, not specifically. I know Vicki has a question. There's something that you did that she wants to see again, but just because of the time delay, I'm not exactly sure what it is. So hopefully, to Vicki, if you want to, go ahead and type what the topic was, and I'm sure Christine will be happy to swing around to it.
Yeah. Now, guys, let me show you something else that's important. This is a little big. This is called your hover card. All right? It's called your hover card. Now, I just posted this morning at 8:22 a.m. And let me show you what you can do with your activity on this. So I've already had 10 plus ones on this in two comments, which one of them was mine. I want to see, this is how you can mine for some additional potential targeted contacts here, leads. So I've got 10 plus ones here. You can just go down here, click on this to get the activity. And did y'all see how it flipped the hover card?
Yes.
Okay. So I clicked on this. It flipped the hover card. Guess what? All the activity on this post is now sort of a quick notes outline. Now I can just go down through here and see I'm connected with most everybody on here except for this person here and this person here, this person here. So there's a handful of people that I'm not connected to on here, but they're digging on my content. So now I can go to their page and I can find out some information on them. Okay, that's another business, an entrepreneur. So yeah, that might be a good person for me to connect with. If I wanted to, I can add them directly to circles right here. Again, this kind of speaks to what I do. Bert was asking what I do in real time. This is the kind of thing that I do in real time to get contacts. So like when Bert's doing the private message, 5 minutes he's dedicated to just boom reaching out to people. This is what I do. I come, I find the activity, I see people who are digging on my content, I reach out to them. I don't engage and go back and respond to him right now. I'll just reach out to him. I'll look at his page. I'll say, oh, okay, he's an entrepreneur. I kind of dig on. I'll scroll some of his postings. I see this is an example of what Felicia was talking about, guys. So he's got the exact same posting, and you can tell that these are communities by this little icon up here in the upper right-hand corner. So he's going to all these different communities, and he's posting the exact same thing. Do you think he needs me? Yes. I'm an authority on Google+. We need to connect. He needs to get on my list because he needs to know how he can clear that up and not look like a spammer, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that helps you there. Plus, it also gives you an idea of where he's hanging out because, look, you can see all the names of the different communities he's in, right? That's another way that I mine for targeted places. So I know that this might be a community that I'm not part of. But you can tell, like this one, post your ad, business, ops, MLM, I wouldn't go into that community. It's probably more of a spam fest. But this one, affiliate marketing, I might click in that. And if I'm not part of that community, which I'm not, you can tell because it says join community, I'm going to read a description of it. It doesn't have one, so I'm thinking this might be a bit of a spam fest, which it is. But again, that's how I'm doing my real-time communications. Okay? I'll also go into communities that I might be part of. Like, let me show you another one. I know I'm going fast, guys, but again, this is on a recording, and, So I went into this one this morning, and one of the first things that I saw, guys, people ignore. When you come into communities, you're supposed to do an introduction of yourself, right? People ignore new people in communities. This is awesome gold right here because I'm the one person that's paying attention to the newbies. And most of them are coming in there like, I need help. So this guy right here just posted this on the 17th. He was like, I'm new. How do I learn internet marketing? Boom! He needs me.
There you go. That's a gold mine.
So now he's in my circles. We're communicating. You know what I'm saying? Don't ignore the new people. That's how a lot of, and guys, when I do post, so I'll come in and I'll just scroll through and look. Hello to my internet marketing family. My name is blah, blah, blah. I'll read, and then I'll post something that really gets their attention. Now, it's not that hard because, A, most people are not responding back to them. It says, I'm here to learn from the community and have fun, blah, blah, blah. So I might do something like what I like to call get their attention and get them to pull me. I'll make it a little game. Most of the people in my circles, I don't add them, they add me. And that's because I'll post something that makes them think, huh. So I might say something like, hey, and then I'll do a plus mention, guys, which is the plus sign and then their name. Right? And it'll like pop up their name, and then you can just click on it. So now that notification, they're going to get a notification straight to them, right? So I'll say, hey, Welcome to the community. I might ask, how long have you, and I tend to ask how long they've been on Google+. And the reason why is because most people don't actually know how to market on Google+. I'm a Google+ authority, so I want to get down to it. They usually, from this question right here, will say, I just got on, or I've been on here 6 months and I'm clueless. Oh, great, I got a great email letter. You need to get on it. Right? So, and I'll just post that. That's what, and I'll just go down the communities doing that. Now, the communities have different breakouts to let you know different topics, so to speak, in the communities. So maybe I want to promote copywriting mastery course. I'm going to go right into this copywriting section of this community, and I'm going to scroll down and see what everybody's talking about and try to find me a string that I can comment on, get some engagement that way. That's how I do my real-time communications, right?
Gotcha.
So
You're doing more of the string conversations versus the one-off reaching out individually kind of stuff on Google+.
right. Now, if you wanted to do like kind of what Bert does, with Facebook, you can go to the Hangouts. So go to the drop down on here. Go to Hangouts. This shows you all the Hangouts, right? And it's really, you know, guys, maybe I tell you what. I'm gonna come back over here, and what I'm gonna do is maybe Bert will let me come back and do some more training on that at another time. How's that?
Yeah, because we're at about an hour right now. Now I know there's one thing that you have a strong opinion on, and I'd love to hear it. Is a lot of people have a question over on Facebook. Do I need a Facebook fan page versus your personal page? And I think you have a pretty strong opinion on whether or not you need a Google Plus business page.
Yeah, that's kind of a mixed thing. I've actually engaged some of the big Google influencers on this. I personally don't feel that for people who are online marketers or just marketers in general, that you need a business page, and that's because we are our business is us, so to speak. The information, the content that I post on my personal page is the same content that I would be posting on my business page. I am very big on protecting my circles, so I don't have a bunch of just people who are not engaged in my circles. I always go through and cleanse out my circles. So I don't see me being in danger of reaching that 5,000 people limit. So I don't see a personal need to have a page, a business page. Now,
do you have a resource that shares the downside of not, like, for example, on Facebook, you can't advertise certain, without a. Do you have a resource?
No, I don't have a resource. I did engage, and I can repost a posting that I had with Kath Dawson, who's one of the Google Plus influencers, about this. And there's some really good exchange in that string that'll talk to that a little bit more. But as far as like doing PPC and stuff like that, no, I don't have that sort of information or whatever. But again, most people don't do, AdWords and stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Totally cool. Well, that was a great. Yeah, I mean that makes it a whole lot easier than managing 2 more pages. Just one page, and you can do everything.
Yeah. Now, if I had a brick and mortar, I'd certainly have a business page. All right. So did I get everybody? Everybody, give me a little bit quick feedback. You're feeling the need to be more engaged on Google Plus, and get some good targeted leads now. Felicia, have I won you over a little bit?
I really like the features. You know what's going on with me a little bit with YouTube, so it has me a little scared that they're so closely tied together. I by not by my choice no longer have a Google Plus business page. but the features are really, really cool and extremely powerful.
Yeah. So guys, I just posted a link in the chat, and it looks like it's from Bert, but it's me. That's how you can get on my email list for Google Plus. And again, I encourage you to go ahead and do that soon, because I'm getting ready to start a training series that I'm going to be sending out. Okay. So good stuff. I appreciate it. Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Vicki. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Felicia. I appreciate your help over here, guys. Sorry it went over long. There's just so much to Google, and I just did a high level on it. So.
Yeah, totally cool. All right. Well, we'll hopefully have a great week. And Christina, I don't know what fun stuff you've got planned, but then ready for Mindset Monday with Bert on Monday morning. We'll see what he's got ready for our mindset going into the big Live the Dream next week. So excited, and hopefully everybody's patched into Bert and is ready for the Breakfast with Bert there at Live the Dream in Austin next week.
Absolutely. Good reminder. Thanks, Felicia. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day, great weekend.